Hey, how you doing? Hey, how you doing? Hey, guys. Hey, girl, hey. Okay. So, this is going to be a miscarriage trigger. I'm just going to say that right now. So, if you've recently had a miscarriage, or in the process of having a miscarriage, or it's a sensitive subject, then I respectfully say to go off of this video because I definitely am about to talk about one right now. So, ladies, it is Tuesday, September 4th, 2018. It is the day after Labor Day, and I had a miscarriage that started yesterday. A little backstory quickly. I found out about 2.5 weeks ago that I was pregnant. My numbers got done twice. My first numbers were betas 43, progesterone 11.18. Second numbers were betas 193, progesterone 12. They said because I had a preceding miscarriage that they wanted to see my progesterone at 15. And so they put me on progesterone. It took about 4 days to get it due to my insurance. And it started us taking it orally. Within 72 hours, I realized something was wrong. I had extreme, and when I say extreme, I mean extreme constipation, to the point where it made me nauseous. I attempted to do about 9 water enemas, 2 fleets, suppository enemas, a bottle of citric nitrates, and a half a gallon of prune juice. It still took about 2 days after that for my bowels to move. It was the most painful thing I've ever experienced in my life, besides miscarriage. When I went back after that issue, because that issue took me to the emergency room, but I was never seen, so I left. And I was there for about 4 hours and hadn't been triaged or anything. And I come to find out yesterday that the reason I wasn't triaged, because they technically didn't believe me when I said I was there for 4 hours and was never seen, is because the nurse that you come in and you talk to did not put on there that I was pregnant. She said they would have took me right back, but it's okay. Can't cry over spilled milk, right? But anywho, I got my numbers read one more time a couple days later, maybe like a week or so later, and my betas were 195, which I thought was good because they were going up, but my progesterone was 11.4. It wasn't until I saw my progesterone at 11.4 that I realized that there was a problem, and then that I realized that my beta numbers were in red. And I had to call Quest to get my information. The doctor's office did not call me legit until like 2 p.m. to talk to me about my numbers. And, you know, I just asked her straight out and straightforward, is this bad? And she said yes. And even with me saying, is this bad, you're supposed to have a level of empathy. So it was more, the conversation kind of was, yeah, that's bad. Your number should be 3,200, not 9,000. There's no chance it's going to go up. You're going to lose this pregnancy, was pretty much the conversation. So, you know, my conversation was, well, can I do something else? You guys had me taking it orally once I had the problem with constipation. You wouldn't have me come in. You know, is there a better way? My progesterone was going up just fine, you know, and then you had me start taking progesterone, and then it started to drop, and then you told me to take it vaginally instead of orally, you know. So I'm asking honestly, what can I do? Is there anything I can do that will help this? Nothing, you know. I started feeling like crap again the Friday before this holiday. So that was like the 30th. I started feeling like crap. I started feeling like something was wrong. And that was the day I got the test results. But it was like I had already started feeling bad before I talked to them. I started feeling bad and everything. Long story short, fast forward, I had a lot of pressure in my rectal area. I had a lot of pressure in my back. And I was just all out and out uncomfortable. So I got up Labor Day, and took my ass to the emergency room. I was tired of calling the doctor trying to get an appointment. I was tired of people listening to people tell me, you know, it just happens. It happens to everyone, which I know it does. But at this moment, I'm not everyone. At this moment, I'm Genesis. At this moment, this is happening to me. So regardless of how frivolous you think my questions may be, or regardless of how you think pointless it is for me to have hope, as my provider, you should still have that level of empathy for me as your patient. But I'm not gonna worry about that. I went to the ER and I got my blood work ran. I had some spotting, so I got my blood work done. I got a urine test done. They ordered me an ultrasound before I even got all the way in the back in the emergency room. So by the time they called my name to do my registration, they were calling my name to do the ultrasound. And when she was doing the ultrasound, I had a little bit of hope because she was going to one side and taking pictures, and, you know, going to the other side, taking pictures. The first time when I had the miscarriage and I had the ultrasound in the emergency room, I was in there legit like 5 minutes. I was in here with her for like a half hour. So I'm thinking, okay, she found something. I'm like, maybe it was twins and one passed away and then the other one's still there and there's a measurement or something. You know, they don't tell you anything in the ultrasound. I think I can understand why they don't tell you anything during ultrasound, but I also think it's really unfair to the patient and to the mom, because now we feel like you know something we don't and you don't want to tell us. You know what I mean? It's like it's an overwhelming feeling. So I was very, very, very taken back by everything, and I'm trying to make this video short, I promise. But she didn't really say anything to me. So when they took me to a room, I was already irritated. I already was just like, it's a wrap. When is it gonna start? Because when she gave me the ultrasound, I was spotting. When she took the ultrasound wand out, it was destiny. It was, you know, my destiny was right there on the wand. So I was just like, okay, whatever. So I just asked for a pad, and I was like, okay. So when they finally walked into the room, it was this little doctor, not little, like, it was a man doctor, and he came in and he was talking and let me understand what's going on. And I just flat out said, am I having a miscarriage? And he said, do you know your blood type? And I already knew, because you have to know your blood type in order to get the RhoGAM shot. You get the RhoGAM shot at like 26 weeks pregnant. You get the RhoGAM shot after you've given birth or delivered. This is not my first rodeo. So I was like, B negative. And he said something else, and I said, look, don't mean any disrespect, don't even mean any harm. Am I losing my baby? He kept talking to me. I said, what was my HCG number? And he said 168. And I just instantly started crying. Like, instantly started crying. And I've never seen in my life a doctor, let alone a male doctor, break down crying with me. He said, the minute you asked me your information and you told me your blood type, I knew you would know. And he said he was trying to wait for his partner to come in, who was a woman, so she could talk to me and she can console me. But it was a wrap. And the lady came in and he's crying, I'm crying. I'm like, you know, at this point I just want to go home. You know, I'm like, I know what happens from here. I'm just ready to go home. I was like, you guys don't have to do anything extra. I just want to go home. So, you know, they sat there and they cried with me for a few minutes. And then the lady was like, well, the problem is that you have a formation on your right fallopian tube. And we don't know if it's a polyp that creates when you ovulate. She said it happens naturally when you ovulate, or if that is the baby, because they said we didn't find anything in the uterus. She said we found a sac in the uterus, but it's coming towards like the bottom of the uterus, but we see this polyp and it's about the same size. And she said, you have two options. And I immediately said, I don't want any surgery. I know there's something you can give me that can break it down, help it come out naturally, but I will not have any surgery, and I meant that. It's not gonna happen. She said, I can respect that. She said, well, according to your doctor's notes, they told you that it possibly could be an ectopic pregnancy. That doctor didn't tell me shit about an ectopic pregnancy. Them doctors, first of all, I haven't had a damn conversation with my doctor since I called and said I was pregnant. I didn't have a conversation with them then. I've been talking to nurses. Not one damn doctor, not even the 2 times I went to the emergency room and left a message for them, did a fucking doctor call me back. And I hate to say it that way, but let's be honest. No fucking body called me back. No one. So my doctor's notes are full of shit because nobody called me at all. No voicemail, no nothing. Okay? So they're like, according to your doctor's notes, you were told. I wasn't told shit. First of all. Second of all, ectopic pregnancy, my numbers would have kept going up. Even if they were going slowly, they would have kept going up. So the fact that my numbers went from 995 to 168, it's not ectopic. And I'm not a fucking doctor. It wasn't fucking ectopic. So I was like, you will not cut me. They sent an obstetrician in, very nice lady. She had a damn speculum and all this other stuff in her hand. I said, you won't do that either. You know, I wasn't trying to be disrespectful. I wasn't trying to be rude. But if immediately after I got the ultrasound, I'm bleeding, and I mean bleeding, there's no need for you to go in there. She's like, well, it kind of can kickstart. I think I've kickstarted pretty damn well. Pretty well I've kickstarted. So I spent the next 3 hours in the hospital refusing a pelvic exam, refusing a DNC, essentially. I don't want a DNC because, as she said, if they go in and to see if that formation was the baby or not, they were going to have to cut my tube in order to do that, to search and find and see if it's anywhere in there. So I would have lost that tube, and I would have lost, you know what I mean? Like, no, I'm not trying to do that. I would have lost that ovary. I'm not doing that. Sorry. So the lady was like, well, we can't in good faith send you home without knowing. So I said, run my beta again. Run my beta again. And she said, what? Run my beta again. If I have an ectopic pregnancy, my number's going to keep going up. It's eventually going to go up slower because there's nowhere for the baby to grow. Run them again. They ran them again. It was 100. Even 100. I'm going home, was my words. And that's where I went. The fuck home. To say I don't think I would TTC again is something that I can't say because I'm married. Eventually, I'll feel better. Eventually, even if it's not with the intent of TTCing, I'll have sex with my husband. I don't foresee myself going and buying a box of condoms, but I'll have sex with my husband, and whether it's one time I have sex with my husband, whether it's a pull-out game that we try that we've never done in our whole entire marriage or relationship, there's that possibility that you can get pregnant. Will I actively TTC right now? No. Do I mentally think that I have the brain capacity right now too? No, I do not. But what I do know is that I do feel blessed that I had this opportunity. I do feel blessed that even though it's 2 losses, and a lot of people will argue it's not a loss, including one of the doctors that came in, it's a loss. I'm thankful to those couple weeks. You know, the first time I got to about 4 weeks, 3 days. This time I got to 6 weeks, 1 day. I don't want to go keep doing that until I get to 30 weeks, 2 days. Yeah, I don't want to do that. I'm just going to take a little time and focus on myself. I'm going to take a little time and focus on my babies. I'm going to take a little time and focus on life. And in the next coming weeks, I will have to figure out exactly what I want to do moving forward. If I want to do anything moving forward. I just feel overwhelmed right now. really, really overwhelmed, because even with all of this, I have to still go home and be a mom. You know what I mean? I still have to go be a mom. I still have to live, you know? So, that's about all I wanted to say.